Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So today we are here to start our journey in learning Bhagavad Gita. The main book shall be Mastery Case Mandrageeta as a central theme, and we will discuss Bhagavad Gita around that as a central platform for understanding. You are free to discuss in between, ask questions, make comments. And use that understanding Bhagavad Gita is not merely reading it every day. It is implementing what has been taught by Krishna in everyday life. Let us first understand the placement of the Gita. Where is Bhagavad Gita occurring in the scriptures? In which scripture do we find Bhagavad Gita? No, Mahabharata. Mahabharata has 18 chapters called cantos or parvas. Even Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters.
Okay.
So Bhagavad Gita has been placed in the between the war when it is being taken place. The war of Mahabharata took place for 18 days. The Gita was taught by Lord Sri Krishna to his disciple Arjuna on the first day, but it has been revealed to Dhritarashtra by Sanjaya on the 10th day of the war. Okay, when Bhishma collapses. Until 10 days, no one knew that Gita existed in the world. The symbol is that even we have the Gita inside us as a sublime teaching of the God, which is our conscience and buddhi, right? We keep using it sometimes. But if we were Arjuna, we will have the teachings on the first day itself. But if we are as blind as Dhritarashtra, it is when our major workforce has been destroyed, like Bhishma, the chief commander. So until that day, we have to wait and listen to the preachings of the God. Usually, we are in that second phase because we seek advice only when we are at a very low stage in life. We don't seek advice when we are starting something in order not to reach that stage. That's the difficulty part. And when we are at the low stage, at the least, if we listen Gita, yes, we can succumb to our difficulties and crawl up. But there are more who didn't even listen to the Gita. At any rate, this is the placement of the Gita. The second point is, why was it taught during the war, at the start of the war? Why not when Arjuna went to Krishna in other times? Like we are sitting peacefully on online mode and we are discussing the things. We think by this discussion or by arguing about the good and bads or the finer points of the Gita scholarly, we forget one single point, which is Gita is for only that person who has reached the stage of Arjuna. Hmm. At what stage was Arjuna in the start of the war? He was agonized. Why should he face his relatives? Why should he be attempting to kill his relatives? Why is the world like this? The world is so unfair. Those were the thoughts that he is having at that time. When we experience that agony or that pain in our life, it is that time the Bhagavad Gita is going to help us. Not when we have full stomach and ample amount of time to make it a roundtable conference discussions. Not that we should feel trouble or pain in life. We should be at that stage of surrenderance. When did Krishna start speaking? When Arjuna said, "Hey Krishna, these are my doubts, these are my problems. I surrender to you. You are my guru, you are my teacher, you are my well-wisher. I leave all the decisions to you. Tell me." That is when Krishna started speaking. And Gita starts, the real Gita. So in our life, even we have to first surrender to the God, not wait for difficulties and wage war always. Even now, the Gita can help us in this kind of calm discussions. But in what attitude? Not in the attitude of a scholarliness where, oh, I'm learning so much. Then next day when someone else come, I can show off all my wisdom in front of them. In that attitude, you will never learn a single point portrayed by Krishna. But in the attitude of surrender, what has Krishna said? Why has Krishna said? What the purpose in which Krishna said? You know, then it will help us. Who is Arjuna in reality? He is verily all of us put together. It is the whole humanity. So the God is speaking to humanity by the means of Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, they did not record it, right? Did they record all the personal conversations between everyone in the Mahabharata?
Yeah.
No, only very important ones where Krishna taught things to Uddhava. Maitreya taught Maitreya and Vidura's discussions, and Bhagavad Gita, and Bhishma's teachings to Dhritarashtra, not Dhritarashtra, Yudhishthira on Vishnu Sahasranama and all. So only very few which are at the pinnacle of spiritual freedom that has been recorded by Vedavyas. So whom should we first board on in order to send our gratitudes? It is Vedavyas. Who is Vedavyas?
Who wrote Mahabharata?
Who
Who wrote Mahabharata, right?
he didn't write, he authored.
Okay.
In fact, Mahabharata was authored through him. He was in the state of meditation when he wrote. As well as not only Mahabharata. First thing what he did was he wrote Jaya. Your name, Jay Prakash Narayan. The word actually is suitable for Mahabharata, Jaya. He wrote a very small piece actually. Later, his students, Vaishampayana and others, expanded it into Bharata and then Mahabharata by adding additional stories so that the things may be clearer for future generations like this. Now, Mahabharata stands as the world's largest poem or scripture. Other than Mahabharata, what else did Vedavyasa write or author? The 18 Puranas.
Okay.
Vishnu Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Agni Purana, all the Puranas he has. What else did he do? Why did he get the name Vedavyasa? He compiled the Vedas. Until his time, all the Vedas were, you can say, haphazardly being distributed throughout the country. There is no particular order. So Vedavyasa divided it into four categories: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvana. Then he distributed each Vedas to one of his students. What else did he write? Brahma Sutras, which stand as a fountainhead of Vedanta Shastra. So, if not for Veda Vyasa, we have nothing to learn, nothing to discuss, nothing to see. We will be as plainly, blindly materialistic as any Western country is today. We have no insights into our own self, no insights into the acquiring of peace. In the name of peace, how many wars have been waged by the West? But where does peace exist? When you are at peace, you have peace. It's like what are you to do to satisfy your hunger? If I discuss about hunger, if I anger about hunger, or if I told someone about my hunger is not going to go. I have to go to my kitchen, cook food, eat it. My hunger is satisfied. Is it not? Similarly, if you need peace in the world, you need to venture into acquiring peace, not waging wars or speaking about your rights to peace. We say world peace, yet we exploit each other in the name of countries' resources. How will that fetch us peace? So every country needs scriptures like Bhagavad Gita to put them in a proper direction. Well, that is their country's choice whether to follow or not. At least in the land of Bharat, we are lucky enough that these scriptures have been provided to our generations. What is there in the Gita that we have been glorifying it so much? What do you think Krishna taught to Arjuna? That Gita is so important. What is it that he taught that his parents could not teach Arjuna? Can you guess?
Maybe how to take up on things, like how we need to look at things instead of reacting on them.
Yes. He taught the way to act and not to react. Very good. Not only that, he has revealed the ultimate nature of creation. He started with the topic of the war. He started with the topic of the personal relatives. Then slowly he went into Atma, Buddhi, and all these anatomical, spiritual anatomy. Then he slowly went into the universal permeation of Lord as omnipresence. In that state, he has shown Arjuna how past, present, future are but one single circle of existence in him. In the Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga, you will see Lord Krishna shows Arjuna how the enemies have been already killed by the Lord of Time. So Arjuna was hesitant in killing. Then he says, if you take up the ownership of your action, you are doomed to enjoy the benefits and ill benefits of your karma. But instead, you put me as the owner, surrender everything to me. What will happen? You will just be a doer, but you will not be touched by the karma result. So you will go beyond. This is the one thing we have been missing throughout our life, the authorship or ownership of our actions. We have never ascribed it to anyone else other than ourselves. Hence, we have been entangled like a spider entangles itself in its own web. We are entangled in our own set of karma. So he has taught us karma yoga. He has taught us jnana yoga, the knowledge that can help us free from these bondages. He gave the bhakti yoga. He gave the devotion, art of devotion. And there are many, each chapter is called a yoga. So he has taught in reality the science of yoga. Yeah, he has given a big lecture on it. Not only a lecture, it's not a university lecture, but when Krishna was speaking, he must have been already adjusting the subtle bodies in the Arjuna's mind so that his teachings would be received in a particular order. Rather, Arjuna's buddhi was nourished by his word. So when we read Gita, we need to understand what standpoint they both are asking questions and answering. Yeah. Most of the books which are written on the Gita, you will find they're much scholarly. They may be brilliant. They may be epic in terms of their analysis. But as EK says, finally, some book should come to our practical utility. Right? In Telugu, he made a joke in one of his lectures. In the Vedanta Shastra, they say neti, neti, neti. Neti means na iti. This is not me, this is not me, this is not. So this Siddhantam is called Papu Siddhantam, he says. Neti Papu Siddhantam. Basically, that is not what we want. It's a negative approach. If you're not your body, if you're not your mind, if you're not all of this, then what are you living for? Is it not through this body you're satisfying your hunger? Is it not your thoughts that you are trying to convey your existence to the other person? Even in telling Neti to another person, you're saying this is not you, but this is what you're using to convey. So such kind of hypocritical approaches should be put aside. The essence of Neti, this is not me, doesn't mean I am not all this, so I'm in an illusion. So let me live my own life blindly in some Himalayan cave. That is not the essence. You should not entangle yourself with the ownership of this. This is not mine. When you, instead of, if you translate the statement as this is not mine, that mine aspect, if you remove, there's a whole mine of happiness that is going to open up for you. Nadi, idi nadi, వీళ్ళు నా వాళ్ళు, this person is mine, he is my brother-in-law, she is my sister, that my keeps on entangling us. Instead, when you look omnipresent Lord in everyone, you belong to everyone rather they belonging to you, because you are part of a bigger organism called God. Such knowledge has been given by Krishna to Arjuna, because of which Arjuna then realized what he saw before was relatives, his grandfather, his uncles, బాబాయిలు మామయ్యలు వీళ్ళనే చూశాడు కానీ but after a while, after the Gita, towards the 18th chapter, Arjuna started looking the world completely different. He started looking Lord Krishna's omnipresence in everything. So in reality, he wasn't actually waging war against his relatives, but he is waging war because the Lord's law decrees that the good should win over the evil. So he became part of the good, which wins over the evil, which is but a drama in the Lord's creation. So all the doubts that we get, Arjuna will get. We need not be over-intelligent than Arjuna. So Arjuna did ask, why is there evil in the world? We also ask, if God is everywhere, why will there be evil? పాపులు ఎందుకున్నారు, కొంతమంది సుఖంగా కొంతమంది ఎందుకు కష్టాలు పడుతున్నారు, why are some facing difficulties, why are some rich and poor? All these things have been answered by Krishna in a systematic order. There are over 700 shlokas in the Gita. As you said in the last time when we spoke, తొందరగా ఏది కంప్లీట్ చేస్తే అది బాగుంటుంది. Rather, it's not speed of completion, it's the deepness, it's a depth of entering into something, and in a speedier way, what you can grab and implement in life, that matters. In a year, if we read only 10 shlokas, let's say, for example, hypothetically, but that year has been productive to you because those 10 shlokas help you transform your life. Don't you think that is much better than completing 10 books written around those things? What do you get if you complete a book? Nothing. It is a mental satisfaction of completion. But rather, if you implement, and if you are living example of a scripture like Bhagavad Gita, then you become the Gita message itself rather than being a memory of a person who read Gita. If you read Gita, we are but a memory in the world's memory that, this guy has read Gita, but the nature doesn't know what use you have got. But if you implement that message in daily life, you will be part of the message of the Gita. So other person will learn Gita through your lifestyle. Agreed? This is the purpose and purport of the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Okay. We will start the Bhagavad Gita with chapter 1. Chapter 1 is named Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Vishada means melancholy, sadness. How can sadness be yoga?
Yeah.
Mita yoga, they have told other things as yoga, it's okay. How is sadness yoga? Here, the thing is, at the start of the topic, this guy, Arjuna, he shows differences. But towards the end of the topic, he surrenders. Or he leaves off everything. He basically enters into a very sadness. That element of dispassion and aversion leads to yogatva. This is one of the elements. Bhakti, etc. also leads. This is also leading one to the state of yoga, and that is why this chapter is named Vishada Yoga. By the way, the chapter names are not given by Veda Vyasa. They are given by some elders, it seems, so that it is easy for us to differentiate the 700 shlokas into set of 18 chapters, so that we can have that theme in the mind while reading the shlokas. The very first shloka. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakuruvata Sanjaya. That means Dhritarashtra said or asked Sanjaya, in this land of Kurukshetra, which is Dharmakshetra, one of the most pious lands in the world, they have gathered the armies of Mamaka, mine, and Pandavas. What are they doing? He asked Sanjay. Who was Sanjaya? Basically his radio. Dhritarashtra was blind, and Sanjaya could foresee into the past, present, future by the boon of Veda Vyasa. So he saw into the past what happened on the first day, and then transmitted that wisdom to the Dhritarashtra. This shloka is very important. Swami Chinmayananda, in his Holy Gita, he comments a very beautiful thing. He says, any scripture, when it starts with a word, that word indicates what the scripture is going to be. Like Swami Vivekananda, when he started his speech, what did he started? Brothers and sisters of America. That means the whole of his speech was going to be on the brotherhood of humanity, on oneness of humanity. In the likewise, when a scripture starts with a word, it is going to be about the essence that the scripture is going to speak to us. Okay?
Beginning word.
Bhagavad Gita starts with the word Dharma Kshetra. So the first word is Dharma. So the book Bhagavad Gita is going to be all surrounding what the core concept of Dharma is. If someone asks, what is Dharma? We say Hindu Dharma. The word Hindu itself is erroneous because there is no such word in our scriptures. But yet, because we are living in the modern world affected by the past invasions, we have to stick with some words. If we call ourselves as Hindu, it is not a religion but a dharma. Then the question comes, what is dharma? To understand dharma, Gita is the best source for us. Therefore, the whole Gita is going to be about dharma. And Kurukshetra, Master E.K., in his Shankaravam book, he gives a nice definition and reference for Kurukshetra. We think Kurukshetra is some land, like in some North India, some land is there and they have fought. In reality, this Kurukshetra is the land where the ancestors of the Kuru Vamsha, these are Kuru Vamshas, these Kauravas and Pandavas, they come from Kuru Vamsha. So the King Kuru, from whom these guys are descended, they have plowed the field and generated crops. That is called a Kurukshetra. Basically, agricultural land where you plow it, make it productful for crops to grow. This was called a yajna in the Vedas because what you do, what a farmer sows, the farmer doesn't reap. He gives it to someone else. There starts the whole chain action of service to the society. You give food to someone else, they'll give you something else called money right now. In olden days, some exchange of service. And that food is transferred to someone else. Finally, all our money in the world is only for eating. Main thing is eating. Without eating, we don't live. Eating means drinking, eating, all the things that make us alive. Therefore, the first yajna or a service act is plowing the field. According to the Vedas, those who do not know plowing and giving nurturing the birth of crops are not fit for Adhyatma Vidya at all. But over a period of time, because of many people living in the world, they divided the jobs based on inclinations. We'll come to those things. So this Kurukshetra symbolically then could mean our mind, where we have to plow it and sow the seeds of dharma, which can grow into the crops of our life, leading the fruits of bliss. So Kshetra, later on, Krishna says Kshetra means our body. Yeah. Therefore, here Dharma Kshetra, our body is the Dharma Kshetra. Our body is Kurukshetra because this is where you plow it and make it ready for the goodness to sprout. In this body, what are there? Sons of mine are there. That means all that is mine, my relatives, my friends, my computer, my money, my ego, my loans, my reputation, my wants, my desires, my body, my beauty, my wife, my husband. All these are mine. Symbolically, it is said Dhritarashtra had 100 sons. Once after 10 or 12 in number, whether it is 15, 20, 100, 1,000, 10,000, it doesn't matter. It is symbolic only. No one can give birth to 100 sons. What does it mean? It means these 100 are symbolic for millions of, you can call, offshoots of what my sense of I will create. The I sense that you have, mind sense that you have, how many bondages that it have? Like I said, only a few list. So if you take the names of all the Kauravas, all those bad traits can be associated with those names. That is the depth which with Veda Vyasa wrote or authored the scripture. What to do? Who else is there? Sons of mine are there in this board. But if I alone exist and I'll become selfish, will I exist in this world? Everyone will kick me outside their life spheres. So someone else should also be there. Sometimes they should keep shining. They are called sons of light. Pandu Raju, the king Pandu. Pandu means bright king. He is all white. White is symbol for bright. And there are only 5 sons. The blind king, Dhritarashtra, sense of mind has 100 sons. So the sense of I am will have hundreds of associations. And the sense of light inside us will have only 5 associations. What is that? Our 5 senses. Because we interact with outer world only through these five senses. Agreed? Those are the five sons of Pandu. So Pandavas Chaiva means and the sons of Pandu or Pandavas. So they both, the sons of light and the sons of dark, both are there inside our body. Now what are they doing? So who is winning? Is good winning or is evil winning? From the first shloka, we can easily say that the whole Bhagavad Gita is story of our in everyday life. We have good, we have evil. Who will win? Who will win? Obviously, the five Pandavas surrendered to the inner light called Krishna, Lord Krishna, and hence they won. The sons of the blind, what happened? They became the sons of the dark, or they became the dark lords, as the modern mythological stories call. They have perished away after the war. Therefore, Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Uvacha means to spoke. In the whole of the Gita, Dhritarashtra only speaks once. The rest of the shlokas are spoken by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra as a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. That is how the scripture is. This is the first shloka. Do you have any questions here? Second shloka. Sanjaya Uvacha. He is replying. दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्. Sanjaya said, the whole armies have been placed. The Kauravas armies, the Pandavas armies have been ready. They are preparing for the war. Seeing this, Duryodhana went to his guru. Who is guru of Duryodhana? Dronacharya. And he asked, he told, Abravit. Bravit means to speak. He spoke to, basically, things are starting. They are getting ready. Now he wants to make the final touch points to the war. So once the spiritual, you have first shloka spiritual meaning, you have understood. Remember, scriptures like Gita, the Veda, Upanishads, Puranas, they have threefold meanings. Physical meaning, mental meaning, and spiritual meaning. In the three levels, we should understand. In physical meaning, in the first shloka, just Dhritarashtra is asking, what is happening in the battlefield? Two armies are there. Please tell me. In the mental and spiritual level, basically we are combining them into one right now. At the deeper level, he is asking, in this body of existence, there is good and evil. Who is winning? What is happening? Who is fighting in what way? Please tell me. Now Duryodhana is, who is Duryodhana? He is the son of Dhritarashtra, the eldest son. If Dhritarashtra is the blind king, blind to the reality of the world, his son will be obviously the same qualities. His son is basically the Prince Dark. Basically, he has all the evil qualities embodied in his personality. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like Master K pointed out, during the time of Ramayana, what was the fight between brothers? It was fight that Bharata wants kingdom to Rama. Rama wants kingdom to Bharata. They are saying, this is your kingdom, no, your king. But by the time of Mahabharata came, they thought, this is my kingdom, no, this is my kingdom. That's the transition of the fight between the brothers. And this guy is the epitome of such nature. What was lawfully given, should have been given to Pandavas, he did not give. Hence the fight took place. Okay?
Yeah.
So he goes to his Dronacharya, Guru, and asks him. He speaks. What does he speak? Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamu Vyudham Drupadaputrena Tavasishyena Dhimata. Duryodhana says, Hey, revered Acharya, my guru, you see, all those who are standing in front of you, the armies of, Drupada's sons and the Pandavas, they are your students and they are
Mhm.
standing in front of you with the strength of their armies. Indirectly, he's poking his guru. Reverently, he's speaking that they are, oh, guru, please tell me. But indirectly, what he says, you couldn't command your own students not to fight. They're standing right in front of you. You taught them and they're waging war against you. What life is this? Indirectly, this guy is insulting. Duryodhana is such a kind. He speaks in indirect manner. He never speaks in a direct speech. And in fact, why is he's not seeing how many armies he has? He's looking at the opposite and crying with jealousy. Oh my God, you have taught them the best. The best of your students are in front of you. Are we going to win? Are you sure? That doubt. So the doubt element in us is representative of this guy. నువ్వు ఏ పని మొదలు పెట్టాలన్నా డౌట్ పడతావు. If you want to start something, you'll be like, can I do this? There are so many people already doing this. Is it possible by me? Am I the person for this? Am I really right person? All this is qualities of this Duryodhana guy. We are becoming Duryodhana day by day in this modern world. In fact, Arjuna was also doubtful. He was also having these qualities. But there's a difference between doubt of Arjuna and doubt of Duryodhana. Doubt of Duryodhana is egoistic doubt. He's like, when I am so much eligible, why these guys are applying to this job? Are they even worth it? Do they even know that they're, far beneath to me? That is how he thinks. How does Arjuna think? Humbly he will think, okay, there are so many great people already. Am I fitting in this world? Doubt is in both the cases. But the way of doubt is also matters in this world. So don't doubt yourself the way Duryodhana, doubt like Arjuna, but then you surrender. Arjuna surrendered, we also should surrender in our doubt. Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. That is fourth shloka. Drushtaketusche Kashirajascha Viryavan Purujit Kuntibhojascha Shaipyascha Narapungavaha Yudhamanyascha Vikranta Uttamaujaschcha Viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva Eva Maharathaha. He is naming each and one of them. Yudhana, Virata, Drupada, many names you have got in the shloka. Basically, he's saying so and so and so are right in front of us. They are not normal people. They are valorous ones. They defeated many, many armies in the past. And now they are standing in front of us. What shall we do? Asmakam tu vishishta ye tani bodhat vijottam Nayaka mama sainyasya sanyartham tam pravimite. Okay. Oh, my Acharya, who is a well-knowledge person. Not only the opposition, let me also once tell you who is standing with us. That means he wants to tell his guru, yeah, I am not a doubtful guy. I know we also have the strength. So let me tell who we have. And it's like when you are afraid, what you usually do, you tell your weaknesses and strengths in front of someone to self-assert. Usually we try to discuss our agony with someone, is it not? That is what Duryodhana is doing. Did Drona ask him to tell him? Can't Drona see that armies are there? వీడు చెప్పాలి వచ్చి వాళ్ళ గురువు గారికి ఎవడున్నాడు ఎవడు లేడనేది. It's not that. He is unable to control his anxiety. So he goes to his guru. Basically, he wants to listen soothing words from his guru that finally, don't worry, we will win. He wants that reassurance. So he wants to poke him. In order to poke him, what did he do? He first pointed the enemy is not what he has. ఎప్పుడు మంచివాడు తనకేముందో చూసుకుంటాడు, చెడ్డవాడు అవతల వాళ్ళకి ఏముంది నాకేం లేదు ఇన్ కంపారిటివ్లీ చూసుకొని జలసీ పడుతూ ఉంటాడు. వీడు ఆ టైప్, సెకండ్ టైప్ బేసికలీ. ఐ హ్యావ్ దిస్, ద అదర్ guy has that, I don't have this. వాడికి ఫ్రిడ్జ్ ఉంది, I don't have a fridge. He has a car, I don't have a car. They are earning per annum so many crores of dollars, I don't. But what I already have, I have good mind, I have a good time, I have good teachers in my life. No, we don't want all that. We want to fall only for those that we don't have with relative to what others have. That is this Duryodhana. Bhavan, భీష్మశ్చ కర్ణశ్చ కృపశ్చ సమితింజయః అశ్వత్థామా వికర్ణశ్చ సౌమదత్తిస్తథైవ చ. హూ ఆల్ వి హ్యావ్? అందరు పేర్లు చెప్పి ఈయన పేరు చెప్పకపోతే మళ్ళీ హట్ అవుతాడు. అందుకని మీరును, హీ సేయింగ్ యూ అండ్ భీష్మ అండ్ అదర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. నౌ ద గురు విల్ బి లైక్, ఓకే ఓకే, హీ టోల్డ్ మై నేమ్, ఐఎమ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టు దిస్ గై. నో, ద్రోణ ఇస్ నాట్ లైక్ దట్. కానీ వీడి బుద్ధిలో, ఇన్ మైండ్ ఆఫ్ దుర్యోధన, దట్ he has that attitude, and if someone speaks about something to Duryodhana, he expects his name to be spoken first in the great will. So he told, you, Bhishma and other people are there in our army. Anye cha bahavaha shura madarthe tyakta jeevitaha nana shastra praharanaha sarve yuddha visharadaha. And there are many more people who are here, who are well-versed in the fighting, the art of fighting. And then going back to our spiritual thing, in our body, there are armies of good and armies of bad who has also waged war in the past and won. So not only always good wins, bad also won in the past. Aparyaptam tatasmakam balam bhishmabhirakshitam paryaptam tvidame tesham balam bhimabhirakshitam. This is 10th shloka. సో భీష్మునిచే రక్షింపబడుచున్న నా బలము లెక్కకు మిక్కిలి అయి పర్యవేక్షణకు లొంగకున్న పాండవుల బలం పరిమితి సంఖ్య అయి హద్దులలో ఇమిడియుందు. దిస్ ఈస్ ఐఎమ్ రీడింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ మాస్టర్ ఈకేస్ Mandrageeta. And we'll explain whenever we have little discussion, I'll read from there. So this guy is saying aparimitam, unlimited. We have armies which are far greater in number, led by Bhishma. Their Pandavas, the armies are led by Bhima, and they're very limited in number. Because Pandavas' army was very less. Kauravas' army was very big. Always good is less, evil is big. This is how the story of life goes. And the small only wins always. He's pointing. Ante rendu arthalu indulo. There are two meanings. On one side, he's saying ours is strong, theirs is weak. But inside his heart, he knows, even though they are in smaller number, they are strong. Even though we are beginner, we are weak. I am having doubt. Oh, Guru, please assure me. He's seeking the assurance indirectly. Otherwise, why to say it? Doesn't Drona know in reality? He knows how many armies he has. He'll be like face palm. Why are you telling me all this? I know all these things.
Yeah, questioning. Yeah.
అయనేషు చ సర్వేషు యథా భాగమవస్థితాః భీష్మమేవాభిరక్షन्तు భవంతః సర్వ ఏవ హి. Basically, he says, therefore, give aid to Bhishma, protect Bhishma because he's the chief commander. Let all your armies arrange in the way the chief commander orders and wage the war. Let us be obedient to our commander of the war and follow the instructions, and let us win the war. That's what Duryodhana is telling to Dronacharya, actually requesting for his undoubted support. Now, tasya sanjanayanharham arsham kuruvruddha pitamahah simhanadam vinadyochaihi Shankham Dadmau Pratapavan. Now people are, if a strong person, poor come to war, what is the habit in those days? Shankham Udartavad. They blow the conch. Everyone's a Shankha is, like a fingerprint different. Their sound suggests, this is from Krishna, this is from that guy, this is from Drupada. So everyone is sounding their horn, conscious, saying that, yes, we are ready for the war. We are ready for the war. Tata Shankascha Bheryascha Panavanako Gomukha Tahasaivarpya Hanyantasa Shabdastu Mulo Bhavat. So, not only Shankas, that drums are there, no? Tung, 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 tung. Those are also being blown. And the big instruments, those are being blown. Basically, everyone is stamping their presence in the battleground. Tata Shvetairhayairukte Mahati Syandane Sthito Madhava Pandavaschaiva Divya Shankau Pradadnutu. After that, the Pandavas, this is important, shloka 14. అదే సమయమునకు నరనారాయణులు తెల్లని గుర్రమును పూంచిన మహారథమున రంగము నడుమ కనిపించిరి. He's saying, at that moment, when the sounds are being blown, that means when the war is being ready, Nara and Narayana, Arjuna and Krishna came in the horses which are white colored, pulled a chariot pulled by the horses. They came into the center of the battleground. What does that mean? At the center of this body lies the heart center. In the heart center lies the Lord Omnipresence. There itself lies the Jiva. Jiva is called the Nara. Deva is called the Narayana. So the Jiva and the Deva, the Lord and the being, both came in the chariot. Chariot means the body, the center. And they stood at the center of the battleground. Now, interesting things start. And he started blowing the conch. Panchajanyam Hrishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Poundram Datmau Mahashankam Bhima Karma Vrukodara. That means he is describing the 5 conches. మనకు అనిపించవచ్చు, సరే, they have blown conches. Why to name every conch? Does it mean like Vedavyasa had so much time that he had to write every small detail, or was it something useful to us? If you look at the words carefully, we will understand the depth inside each shloka of the Gita. Nothing is for waste. In fact, many people think the first chapter is not at all necessary to comment in this much depth because what is that? The armies came together, Arjuna was sad, he went. It is from second chapter things start because Krishna's teaching start there. It is like, who needs to put the stove on, lighter it, cut vegetables and etc. Directly can't we have our lunch? How can you have lunch without the preparatory needs? So first chapter is a preparatory stage for us to understand the Gita. Here 5 names have been told, out of which 2 are utmost important. Krishna's conch is named Panchajanya. Are you writing your notes? Some things are important. So later when you rehear the lecture, write your notes. It's called Panchajanya. That means Janya means that take birth. Pancha means 5. So Lord or Krishna is blowing the conch which gives birth to 5 properties. What are they? All the pentafold creation. Panchabhutas, Panchendriyas, Panchagnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, Panchatanmatras, all the pentafold creation is being given and life impetus from Lord Krishna. That is what is blowing conch means. Blowing means what? He holds the shankha like this, right? That sound comes. That means you're installing the prana, you're reverberating the prana, and you're vitalizing the entity. So Krishna's conch vitalizes the 5 entities in us, the pancha pranas, pancha koshas, annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya koshas. Pancha pranas, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, panchabhutas, prithvi, apas, tejo, vayu, akasha, like that. All the pancha, pentafold things is panchajanya. Who has this, all the pentafold thing? Jiva has this. I am having all these things. Yeah. Does Krishna have all these things? No, he bestows it to us. I am begging and taking it from the Lord. Let me exist in this world with this pentafold creation. That is why Arjuna's conch, you know the name? Arjuna's conch is called Deva Datta. Deva Datta means that which is being given by the God or obtained. Datta means to obtain or to give. So Deva Datta, that which has been given by God. If Arjuna is Jiva, whatever God is blowing there is being entering into Arjuna. And only then Arjuna starts blowing. What does that mean? If I speak, only when God speaks inside me can I speak. If this is the kind of meditation I do, won't I just dissolve into the Godhood? Get the point? So Deva Dattam means that which is obtained by God, from God, sorry, by the Jiva. So Dhananjay, Arjuna has Deva Dattam, Krishna has Panchajanya. And other people have all those things, Poundram, Gurukodara, etc., etc. We don't enter into too much detail right now. In the book that I am authoring, I'm trying to comment. There I mentioned more details. We'll go. And then next, many people have just blown this conscious. And the names in my book I have written like Yudhishthira, Nakula, Sahadeva, all these are blowing the conscious named Sughosha, Manipushpaka, and all these things. The inside thing is that the conscious that the 5 Pandavas are blowing are related to the chakras that we have. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, until here. Yeah. And here is Agnya Chakra where the order of the God exists, and here the God exists. So in that sense, the Shankha's names itself suggests that they are lords or the presider deities of our chakra that I have mentioned in the book. We'll discuss that some other time. And so on and so forth. They keep on describing about the conscious and stuff. Now what happens? Arjuna asks, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Stapaya Me Achyuta Yavadetan Nirikshyeham Yodhu Kamanavasthitan Kairmayo. In the next shloka also we'll see. Kairmayo Sahayodhavyam Asmin Ranasamudyame Yotsyamanaviksheham Ya Etetra Samagataha Dhaptarashtrasya Durbuddhehe Yuddhe Priyachikirsyavata. Basically, he's saying, hey, Lord Krishna, kindly take me into the central ground of the armies. Let me see who all have come to wage war. Is it not because of this ill-minded Duryodhana that he is warmongering idiot who called forth for this war? It is not me. It is because of him I have to face my mine in this war. Please put me center. Let me see once and let me, understand why am I waging this war. So I will stop there. We are at half of the first chapter. In the next half, we will continue the next class.
Shloka is 15th shloka.
This is 23rd.
On the third. Okay.
This chapter has 47 shlokas. We are at the 23rd. It is in the next topic or next class that we will know what questions he asked. And we will also know how out of blue he is not asking, but there is a reason for his asking. We'll learn all that in the next class. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, every chapter, at the end of the chapter we will read, but end of the class we will read this shloka. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Prathamodhyaya Om Tatsam. What it means, at every chapter you have this. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Song of the Lord, Song Celestial. Upanishad. It is an Upanishad itself because it takes us, Upanishad means that which takes us nearer to the truth. It is Brahma Vidya. It contains what? Brahma Vidya. Brahma means the wisdom of the universe, which is ourselves and outside, inside and outside universe, microcosm, macrocosm. Yoga Shastra. It is a Yoga Shastra. It unites the Jiva to Paramatma. Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. It has been written in the form of a discussion of Arjuna and Krishna. The chapter's title is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Prathamodhyaya, the first chapter. Om Tat Sat. That is verily the truth. This is Bhagavad Gita. For your next class, we shall meet. Hari Om.
Yeah.